Hello and welcome to video 2. Thank you for coming back. I just wanted to do this just briefly to tell you a little bit more about me and why I think that I can help you. When I kind of thought about setting up this venture, I did think, well, what qualifications do I have? What credentials do I have? Why will people trust me? But then I thought, actually, I do have some qualifications that would help me with this, and I have a lot of experience. So I thought I'd just share that with you, and then hopefully it will help you to trust me and know that I can help you, because I can. So I thought I'd start with just a few little random facts and then go on to the qualifications and experience. I live in Halifax, West Yorkshire. I love it here. I'm not from Halifax, I'm from Lancashire originally, but I moved to Leeds when I was 18 to go to uni and never went back. So I love Yorkshire. I'm very settled in Yorkshire, so Halifax is great. I have 2 children, James and Poppy, who are 15 and 12 and very teenager-y. It's summer holidays at the minute, can't get them out of the rooms, they just want to sit and play games and they're all grumpy and sarcastic, but they're amazing. 2 dogs, you probably see one of them running around and you'll probably be interrupted by them at some point. 2 cats and a tortoise and a husband. Tony, he does judo for a living. He's done judo since he was younger. That's been his main passion in life. He absolutely loves it and has turned it into his career now. He goes around teaching in schools and he teaches clubs. So he's very similar to me in that we both believe you should do something you love for a living. It's really important. Random facts: I eat 3 oranges a night every night before I go to sleep. I have no idea why, but I feel funny unless I've got my 3 oranges. That's just a really random fact about me. I have no idea why I do that, but I can't switch off for the day until I've had my 3 oranges. I'm a little bit dizzy, a lot of brain fog. I forget things, that's why I need notes. I've always been like that. I think maybe it's because I'm in my head a lot. I have a lot of thoughts, so they get a lot kind of jumbled up in my head. I think I'm better at writing than I am speaking, because I do tend to get a bit jumbled, but I'm trying my best here. I read a lot. I read a lot of kind of spiritual and self-development books, and I think they've changed me massively. And I'm also obsessed with psychological thrillers. I've read every one. I read every day and I have done since I was young. I absolutely love reading. I've always been a massive bookworm. I love walking in the countryside with the dogs. I love yoga. I do yoga every day and it's made a big difference to me. I think kind of emotionally and spiritually and in terms of my mental health, it's really helped. But also fitness. I've got muscles now and look at that. I do have quite big muscles now from doing yoga. You can see there. So I think it's helped the muscles as well. It helps me feel fitter and have more energy. So I love yoga. I'm a vegan and I don't eat gluten. So that's been quite a recent change for me, but I feel really good. I gave up, because I was a vegetarian anyway, but I gave up dairy. And I think gluten's been making me feel poorly for a long time and I didn't realise, so I gave that up and I've started to feel really good. So I think diet does have a massive impact on your life. So they're just some random, boring things about me. So why do I think I'm qualified to help you with your life? I did my degree in psychology. I chose psychology because I've always been interested in human behaviour, why people behave as they do. And I loved it. I really enjoyed it. There was one section of it which was positive psychology, which is all about like the traditional model of psychology, looked at what was wrong with people and looked at making people that had something wrong with them better. Whereas positive psychology looks at more about what is right with people. So it looks at people that don't really have any issues and turns them from okay to great. So I really love that. I really, really enjoyed that side of it. Martin Seligman was the founder of that, and he's written a book called Learned Optimism, which is worth a read if you're interested in optimism and positivity, which hopefully you are. So yes, that's well worth a read. He believes that you can learn to be optimistic. If you don't have a fixed mindset, you can change at any point, which is what this Rose Tinted Living is all about. So that book is definitely worth a read. The other thing that really grabbed me was transpersonal psychology, which is a branch of psychology focused on studying the spiritual and transcendental aspects of the human experience. So it's all the spiritual woo-woo stuff. It's Jung. I absolutely loved reading about Jung, archetypes, collective unconsciousness. All of it I was absolutely fascinated with, and that started my interest in spirituality and thinking that there's more to life than the things that we can see. So I really, really enjoyed my degree. And I think it did start off all these kind of passions that are now coming together to turn into this Rose Tinted Living venture. After my degree, I had no idea what I wanted to do. So for about a year, I just did a couple of like rubbishy jobs and kept researching and thinking about it, but I couldn't find anything. I knew again it had to be something that I was really passionate about, because I didn't want to just go into something that I would find boring. I knew it had to be something right for me, but I couldn't find that thing. So I went into careers advice. I thought, I can't kind of help myself. I don't know what I want to do, but I can help other people to decide what they want to do. And I really enjoyed it. I went on to do a postgraduate diploma in careers guidance. And that involved a lot of coaching skills, a lot of advice and guidance, and it helped us to work with people to help them come up with decisions themselves by us asking the right questions. So it's not telling people what to do, it's helping them to come to their own conclusions by asking the right questions. So it's guiding them, and it involves a lot of coaching. So then I went into careers advice, and I worked for 7 years in schools and colleges giving one-to-one careers advice, which I did really enjoy. But I didn't like working for a boss. I didn't like the commute. I've always wanted to be self-employed. I've always wanted the freedom of running my own business, but I couldn't think what to do it in. And I wanted to be at home with my son as well, because he was only tiny and he was spending half the week with a childminder, and I didn't want that. I wanted to be with him. So I started looking. I took redundancy when my second was born, when Poppy was born. Redundancy came up at a good time, so I took that. And then I started to looking into some work from home opportunities. Very luckily, I stumbled across Usborne, which is a direct selling company that I've worked for the last 11 years. Sells books, children's books, to parents, schools, grandparents and nurseries. It just gave me butterflies at the time, because I thought, oh, this is something I can do. This is something I can really go for. I can be my own boss, I can work from home, around my children, and it's something I'm passionate about, which was books. So I signed up, and for the last 11 and a half years, I've been doing that. I didn't have a lot of confidence when I signed up, but I knew I had to really go for it, because I knew how happy it would make me. So I did. I worked really, really hard. I got up to divisional leader, which I am at the minute, and I currently lead around 600 people, helping them with their confidence, helping them to set up their businesses, and generally, yeah, mindset is a lot of what we do. I've run a lot of training sessions for them. So yeah, I think that's given me a lot of experience. Most of my experience really when it comes to helping people has come from Usborne. And I've been able to use my psychology in it as well, and my coaching skills. So that's been amazing. I'm not leaving Usborne. I'm still going to work with Usborne just as much, but this is just something else I'm wanting to do alongside it. This is the part I'm most passionate about: mindset, working with people and helping people. I thought if I set this up as well, I can help more people with a wider range of issues, and run it alongside Usborne quite easily. I've always wanted to write a book since I was little. Most nights I go to sleep thinking about book ideas, but I've never thought of one that kind of took off and worked. I've started a few books, but they never really took off. But now I've actually started working on one called Rose Tinted Living. So it's all this stuff in like a self-development book, and I'm loving it, and it's all really flowing out of me because I'm so passionate about this, and I think I've hit upon something really good here. So yeah, so I'm going to write a book. So one day, hopefully soon, well, not soon because I'm going to write it yet, you'll be reading my book and it'll be helping you. So there you go. I've got my degree in psychology, postgraduate diploma in careers guidance, and 7 years experience as a careers advisor, and 11 years experience leading and working with people within Usborne. So I've worked a lot with people. Most of all, I think I'm qualified to help you because I read a lot of spiritual and self-development books. I must have hundreds, honestly. They're all over the house. I first read a book called The Secret, which you may have heard of. If not, I definitely recommend giving it a read, by Rhonda Byrne, when I was pregnant with my now 15-year-old. And it just totally blew me away. It changed my whole way of perceiving the world completely. And it got me thinking differently about everything. And that was the start of my kind of spiritual self-development journey, really. I always, if ever I feel wobbly or a little bit down, I always turn to a book. I go straight to a book and straight away I'm lifted up. I always know the right one to go to. I think they help so much. For me, it's reading. That's what keeps me on track, definitely, reading. And hopefully my book one day will do the same for you. We'll see how it goes. So it's not a natural thing for me, positivity and rose tinted living. It wasn't natural at all. I was kind of just normal, just react to the way life was until I read this book, and then I've gradually started to change. And sometimes I forget and I go back to the negativity again. But I know that thoughts become things, and I know the power of it. So that's why I want to share this with you, really. Our mindsets definitely aren't set. We can change at any time. So I will now want to help as many people as I possibly can to embrace rose tinted living. So there you go, about me. Not very exciting, but I do believe I can help you. So the next video 3, is going to be more about rose tinted living and how it can help us in our everyday lives. So I'll see you there.